What?
Oh, we live. We live. You know, we need to have some technical people help out and press them buttons, but you know, we do it all. We're the fucking DJ, we're the fucking equipment people.
Yeah, man.
We're
That's
producers.
That's what it do.
Entertainment.
That's what it do. I know today's April 2nd, I'll tell you that. I got the fucking date right today, man. My Cubs are 1-3 to start the season. I'm not too thrilled about that, so if I'm in a bad mood, excuse me on that front.
Man, 1-3, they lost again?
Yeah, they played the worst game I think they've played in the Joe Madden era last night. Just
Dylan said, what's up?
Sloppy game. What's up, Dylan, man? What's going on out there in the land of Boudin? But yeah, man, we're back at it, man. Saints and Sinners podcast, rated R 504 Sports, 504sports.net. We're out here on the Twitter sphere, YouTube, and Facebook.
Kiri in the house.
Kiri,
we got Pat Riley. And we ain't talking about the coach of the Lakers
the Showtime, man.
And the Heat.
He's a heck of a rapper, and he has some connections to the Lakers as far as he hates them. Same connection I have. But anyhow, man, we're back at it. You know,
y'all hurting yourself with y'all hate. Y'all
no, we're good, man. We're good.
Self.
Hey, we're getting Zion now. He played his last game for Duke, but he might be playing his first game for the Pelicans soon, man. I'm all about the trade AD for a top 3 pick.
Dylan said that it's only the start of the season, so stop.
Oh no, absolutely.
Stop crying. It's fucking
hey, man,
it's like fucking like 1.5% of the season or something like that.
Hey, look, go to the NOLA Cubs. Pat knows what I'm talking about on this. The NOLA Cubs people, we're pissed. Just the way we lost, dude. We scored like I think 30 runs in the Rangers series and lost 2 out of 3. Our bullpen was terrible. 2 leads blown in that series. Yesterday was just a debacle. And I think the Braves are a really good team, but the Rangers are terrible. The Rangers are going to lose 85, 90 games easily, probably closer to 100. But the Braves, to me, are a really good team. So, you know, it is what it is, man. It's a long season. So, Dylan's right on that. You can't, you don't win championships in April.
Is a 4-gamer with the Braves?
No, well, they lost 2 or 3 to the Rangers. They blew 2 leads. They smashed them Friday. Thursday they smashed
It's the day the Cubs played the Braves.
I think they're off today, believe it or not. It's a weird off day, if I'm not mistaken. I think
you just keep talking then.
Baseball, I know everything going on. Now, basketball, now here's the thing. We're gonna transition to, I know baseball, we're gonna be doing a barely legal thing. Our boy Pat's gonna be on board with that.
Barely legal.
And the spirit of Poncho shall return at that point. He'll be done with those, selling the rest of those Pacquiao shirts. But anyway, basketball, I've kind of, you know, forgot a little bit about basketball. Baseball coming up, you know, covering a little football, getting ready for the draft. But the NBA, man, there's a couple of interesting stories going on. Nothing has to do with our hometown Pelicans, unfortunately. The only thing we can do is wait for the offseason and get this GM thing resolved and then trade Anthony Davis and actually have first-round picks.
I went to go see, you know, a bunch of people I barely recognized, and Julius Randle play the other night.
Oh, you went to the game?
Yeah, I went to the game. I had some tickets. My head almost grazed the roof, but you know,
nice.
It was a good time, man. It was a good time. They had a lot of Lakers fans as usual, you know, at those kind of events.
Well, I mean, there's Lakers fans. They're around every city, but I mean, I don't know.
You can walk like 3 feet without bumping into one.
I don't know. I can tell you this: the last 3 Lakers games I've been to since they haven't made the playoffs in like a decade almost, I've seen maybe since Kobe left, I could count the Lakers fans on hands and toes that I saw the last couple games. I didn't go to one this year.
I should have took some more pictures so I could. I could show you the.
Well, I mean, hey, they want to go. They were hoping to see LeBron, and they realized the Lakers shut him down a couple of days beforehand. So I mean, they got screwed on that one. I mean, that's all they know. Once LeBron leaves the Lakers, those guys won't go pay their money to another Lakers game anytime soon.
No, what developed.
They like superstars. They like.
What developed was a G League game, actually.
That game's not even. I don't know, man. I'm gonna move on.
I think I did some good drafting during that game, just to put it that way.
Yeah, that's a snooze fest. I love the Pelicans, but at this point in the season, I mean, it's really just a matter of getting to the offseason as fast as humanly possible to me. But in NBA. I was looking at something interesting. There's one spot that's got to be decided in the East. The Magic have a chance to make the playoffs, which, you told me a couple months ago, I never thought that was a possibility. But the Magic and the Heat battling for the 8th seed in the East, that's important. In the West, all the teams are pretty much locked in. They're clinched. But now there's different seeding things that could happen. The West is I think it's like 6 games separate the top like
Honestly,
5 teams or 6 teams.
If you would have told me the Magic could overtake the Heat, a few months ago, I'd have told you were crazy.
You told me
the
to
Heat,
go fuck myself.
they don't have a whole bunch of fucking superstars,
No.
but they have a good coach. They got a bunch of,
yeah.
Good players.
Spoelstra's a hell of a coach. Yeah.
I mean, they got good players, but they don't have anybody that's like,
Orlando,
that's
man.
like a,
Vucevic,
all-NBA
good
type of
player.
player.
Aaron Gordon, those guys. But Steve Clifford, what a job he's done with that team, man. I mean,
Aaron Gordon's still doing it. I called Aaron Gordon a couple years ago.
I always draft Vooch. I've been having bad luck in fantasy basketball, but that dude always puts out every
You
year.
love Vooch, man.
Vooch puts out, man.
He
That
puts
dude,
out like fucking.
He's a scorer, man.
He
He
puts
I know
out
what that's
like
about.
fucking Catholics.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I know where you want to go with that, but we're gonna save that for another time. But anyway, what you think about this West, man? We talked right before we went on here about all the potential upsets. If you look at the 1 through 8, I can make a case, I think, for all of the lower seeds to win their series. Now, to me, the Spurs, I think, are going to give the Nuggets a world of trouble. I mean, couldn't you see that happening? Just because, and I think Mike Malone's a damn good coach for Denver, but Greg Popovich to me is the best ever.
Do they have?
Do you think the Spurs can grind this game out, their style? You know what I'm saying?
And I mean,
guard
they got,
play, Derek White.
they got a decent matchup
Rosen.
for Nurkic.
They do.
Not Nurkic.
Jokic, man. Yeah, I mean, they got some options for Jokic, you know.
No, we're not talking about Jokic because his leg literally fell off.
No, that's Nurkic.
Yeah,
Nurkic
that was one of the most gruesome injuries I've seen. Like, imagine somebody like 260 pounds,
Oladipo,
and their leg just lands that way.
Oh, some of those bad
and
injuries.
His leg just like, just
flopped around.
It
man.
just like flopped around.
It flopped around like that video Poncho made you watch, huh? It had some relevance to that. Some similarities in flopping and somebody.
That was definitely some uncomfortable, moments with our former, with our current
were you in more pain than Nurkic? That's the
podcaster
question.
friend that joins us every 8th episode.
Were you in more pain than Joseph Nurkic when Poncho made you watch that particular video?
I think something.
Or was there a lot of fear in your eyes when you happen to see something flopping around on a screen? Like that. I mean, it's pretty scary, man.
I mean, it was
pretty scary.
I might have had a flashback,
friend or not, but you feel like all of a sudden, like you're
like I'm in a snuff film. Like somebody's gonna come out the gimp's gonna come out the closet with a camera.
Yeah. It was pretty unfortunate, man. I mean,
and we're gonna be physically accosted.
He's lucky after that video showing that to a few people. He's not knocking on doors in your neighborhood right now and letting them know what he does for. He's got a history of a certain type of offense.
Oh man, we got some people interacting with us.
What we got?
Dylan said, "Who cares about basketball?"
I'm with you, Dylan. But I love the Pelicans, man. And if you gotta, basketball right now sucks ass.
You know it's gonna be bad.
I love basketball. I'll be watching the playoffs.
This off season, I hope I have only to have them shattered as we trade away our best player and don't get anybody back.
Well, I mean, you talking about your team or the Pelicans?
Yeah, I ain't worried about the Pelicans.
Oh, well, I mean, nobody gives a shit about the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Saints and Sinners podcast.
And we
the Pelicans are the sinners this year.
No, I didn't even hear the Saints, But Ted said that, what's up, brothers?
Ted, fucking this weekend, brother, barbecue, man. We got some boudin, beer, boobies. That's my thing, man. The BBB, man. Not the Better Business Bureau, but that's the 3 B's in my life this Saturday, man.
Sully in the house. We're still waiting.
The DJ.
We're still waiting for that thing you was talking about with the DJ.
I was watching Juice the other night, man, and I was jamming to some Juice, dude, late at night. And I said, man, dude, spinning the records, man. I thought of Sewell, man. I said, that dude, he can get down like that, man.
He recently got 600.
DJ GQ, man.
He's got 600 fans on his page.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's awesome. I'll tell you this, though, man, but the basketball thing, I'm going to go make an argument. Watch the NBA playoffs, Dylan. I know you're not the biggest basketball fan right now. The Pelicans, what happened this year sucks. LSU got ousted. The Final Four is kind of blah. I mean, I really don't give a shit at this point who wins. Duke side of it, I mean, that's all we wanted to watch was Duke or, LSU locally for the Gulf Coast folks, but I mean, I don't know.
The only reason people watching Duke is because they got plenty of people that's going to be playing the NBA.
Well, Duke, Zion, Barrett, Radish, those 3 are all high picks.
I mean, basically, it's like you watching to see, like, you wish you had been able, like, if you had been able to watch LeBron if he went to Duke or wherever he went.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Zion's a maniac, man. It's, I'm ready for
it's
Zion.
ridiculous.
Hopefully we see Zion
it's ridiculous.
I'll do whatever we had to do.
If you're good enough to fucking play in the NBA, you should be able to go whenever you...
Yeah,
as long as you're like a legal adult, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, the 1 year thing is starting to be...
If you're 17, have your parents sign off
Look at
on
baseball,
that shit.
Right? Look at baseball. Bryce Harper, 17. Ken Griffey Jr. was 18. Todd Van Poppel back in the day was like fucking 14. Now I don't know if he was really 14, but
I
he was
mean,
like
you
16
can make
or something
sacrifices
stupid.
for the
But-
country, but you can't play
No,
NBA
no.
basketball.
If you're good enough to play, you should be allowed to play. You shouldn't be forced. Football's a little different because the body development is so crucial. You have to get a couple years to. I mean, you can't put a 16, 17-year-old in the NFL, in my opinion. But basketball's a little different. I mean, we've seen guys, like LeBron. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the G League thing makes more sense because you could get more NBA adaptability. College basketball is really dead. Let's be real. We watch it during March Madness, but none of us give a shit before then. You know what I'm saying? College basketball is not what it was when you had Duke with Leitner and Hurley and Grant Hill and
The problem
Tim
is
Duncan
the
and Wake
teams,
Forest.
the teams that
You
are
know,
winning in the tournament
Shaq and
are
LSU.
guys, teams that have guys that couldn't go to the NBA
Right.
as
So
freshmen.
it's watered down product.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're just good. They're like the guys at the playground
Yeah.
that have been playing together the
Yeah.
longest, and that's why they're winning against superior talented
Yeah,
teams
it's
because they're
a
all
teamwork.
freshmen.
Yeah, it's
they,
a
don't,
teamwork.
they
Yeah.
don't even know how to play together.
No, I mean,
yet.
that's what I'm saying. If you gave Zion, RJ Barrett, and Radish another season, they would win the title probably next year. They would win probably the next 3 if they played 4 years of college basketball, which will never happen. But
you got a bunch of NBA players,
Yeah.
and they're all going, obviously, to the NBA.
Well,
It's the
that's
first chance
what-
they get.
you know what's funny? It's Calipari. That's always a big debate. I was at Jessica's folks' house. We were, doing a little weekend thing with the familia, and Calipari, he's kind of a guy people on the fence with. Is he a great recruiter or is he a great coach? Because a lot of people...
No. He's not a great coach.
Well,
I've
I mean,
seen
this
his
Kentucky
offensive
team
system.
wasn't the best this year. This wasn't a loaded team. Here's my thing, though, but like you're saying, it's so hard to get... Coach K, to me, one of the best all-time coaches in any sport. He got that team with Anthony Davis years ago, with Darius Miller, with Terrence Jones. You remember that team that won, you know what I'm saying? There was a load of talent, and they were all freshmen just about.
Virginia's in the Final Four, right?
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Well, Virginia does have a top 5...
they have a top 5 pick.
a top 6 guy according to NBADraft.net. Give him a shout out. They got him going to Atlanta at 6. So they do have NBA talent. So
But
that kind of shits on my theory, but
no, but I mean that's one
let me see,
player.
that's one
player.
guy.
Go back to past Final Fours, and you're gonna have.
Who else is in the Final Four? Virginia
but
Tech,
look at
Texas
the
Tech,
Kentuckys,
right?
the Dukes years ago. You had 3 or 4 NBA players on those teams easily. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go back.
Texas Tech has a top 11 guy, Jared Culver.
Yeah, is that the guard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shooting guard,
yeah.
6'6".
Yeah, pretty good.
Just like, most of the best ones, 6'6" shooting guards.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Bryant.
I thought Kobe was 6'7", man.
No, he's 6'6".
You have to double check that, man. I know Jordan's 6'6". I heard that introduction so many times, man, back in the day. We got a stat check. Stat check. Nah, man, I'm not worried about that 1 inch. But you are gonna look it up, though, aren't you? You son of a bitch, Austin. I don't know. I thought he was 6'7". Maybe I'm wrong. You gotta lie to me anyway, because you told me Rondo didn't make the fucking all defensive teams all those years he did.
Hey.
I don't see it coming up on here anyway, and I'll look up later that night.
Hey,
I'm going to keep that one going.
6'6" according
He's
to Google.
6'6". Google, all right. Well, Kobe is 6'6" too, but we know Mikey's 6'6". Scotty was 6'7", if I'm not mistaken.
Scotty was 6'7". That's
but-
good memory. You remember your own
Yeah.
players. You just couldn't remember how tall.
I can
Kobe
remember.
was.
I mean, I can remember a lot of players, man. But anyway, the West, NBA West. I know, some people want to move on from basketball. We're gonna go to the Saints here in a minute, talk about some pass rushing options and some other different shit going on. But the Western Conference, man, watch the NBA playoffs in the West. Some things can happen, man. I think you can make a case. What could be a really great game if it happens is the Jazz and the Rockets, the 4 and 5 seeds. The Jazz would be the underdog. Houston would have home court right now if the season ended today. But great series there. And the one I'm looking at, I think the Thunder could give the Warriors trouble. That would make an incredible series to me. The Thunder have fallen all the way to the 8th seed. We picked them to possibly be a sleeper. But the problem is the 8th seed in the West is like the 4th seed in the East. You know what I'm saying? It's on that level.
I mean, it's just the teams are so deep.
They're deep. The West is incredible. That's why the Pelicans, the pressure's on this offseason. I mean, you got to fucking go young and get better. What we got, man?
We got Sticky in the house.
Sticky,
Your
my
sister's
boy,
in the
man. I
house.
gotta go see my boy in Laplace, the best paint guy I know in Laplace out here, man.
And Dylan's talking
Carly,
about putting
Saturday,
players in and
Chalmette.
out. Saints need to lose Pete and put Clapp on the starting line. They need a
You
case
think
of the
so,
Clapp.
man? You think Clapp's ready, though? I mean, I don't know about Will Clapp yet, man. I mean, Pete, you know what? Pete doesn't bother me. The problem with Pete, I think, is he's always the injuries, man. I think he's always banged up. When he's 100%, I think Pete's a pretty solid lineman. I mean, you got a line that's got Pro Bowl talent just about everywhere. I mean, you know, you're going to see Easton coming in solid player. But, I mean, the tackles, I think the Saints have the best group of tackles in the league with Ramchick and Armstead. Warford, you know, you don't hear enough about him, but he made the Pro Bowl, you know what I'm saying, 2 years ago? You know, he's a beast. But, I mean, like, Pete's solid to me. I think Pete's a good athlete. I think, you know, he got moved around a lot early on. The injuries sometimes, to me, is what affects him. He plays hurt. You know, which you got to give a guy credit for, but sometimes I think he kind of, you know, obviously the injury he allows him to struggle a little bit. You know, I mean, it hurts his game.
I see about 4 players that's going to be drafted in the first round of the NBA this year.
That's
coming from those 4 teams. Quick fact: 2 of them are from Virginia.
Yeah.
And none of them are freshmen.
Really?
They have 2 sophomores and I think a junior.
A fucking junior's getting drafted. That's crazy, man. Because in today's NBA,
but it's like at the end, towards the end of the first round,
yeah,
he could always slip. He could always slip
yeah.
to people that, you know, get out and, you know, test well. You know,
yeah.
People are always looking for, you know, that next
right.
star
That's
in the
right.
rough, you know, over the guy that has proven production and knows how to play the game.
Teams that draft well, they'll find that guy. I mean, you know, your teams like, you know, San Antonio, you know, Golden State, they'll find that type of player. Boston.
You got Ty Jerome from Virginia, 6'5", 200, junior.
Junior, that's weird. That's rare, man. That's weird.
And it would be scary if this guy can play because he's slated to go to Golden State according to this mock.
The basketball mocks are so weird because until they play together,
they literally have no
workouts,
chance of being right. But it's just to get an idea of who's.
Just to give you that proverbial hard on for the draft, you know. But here's my thing with the Saints, man.
You got DeAndre Hunter. He's also a sophomore from Virginia.
I know
6'7",
Dylan's itching, man. He's itching hard, like, you know, like he's just been to Visions and spent that little extra money. But
if you want the clap,
like
you're talking about the clap, just go.
I don't hate on Will Clapp. You know, LSU guy. You know, the tight end, Dylan. I know you're a big LSU guy, man. What's it, Foster Morrow, the tight end? I hear a lot of guys say that the Saints could still look at him. I mean, you picked up Jared Cook, but let's be real, Cook's going to be 32 years old when the season starts. You know, you have Josh Hill and Dan Arnold. I mean,
and that's one of the biggest needs for the Saints is
depth
along the offensive line because it's a grueling position where people are always getting hurt.
Well, yeah, you need depth on the line.
Clip blocks, you know, concussions, the whole thing. You know, that happens a lot on those lines with those collisions, and you need guys that are quality that can fit in. So you need on the bench, you need guys that can kind of play multiple positions. That's the best thing you can find.
I mean,
you find guys like that.
I mean, Clapp in
utility
year 2
offensive
might,
line.
Year 2 for Clapp might help him out. I mean, but I mean, you know, like, so we're looking at, you know, possibly another backup tight end like an Morrow from LSU. I know we always love when the Saints draft LSU guys. A lot of us. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much. I hate keep drafting Ohio State guys. That seems to be working out pretty fucking good. But,
Ohio
you know,
State
Big Ten
secondary.
guys. Where would we be as a team without the Big Ten guys? I mean, let's be real. You know, I mean...
Yeah, a lot of people think the SEC is the best, but look at the
players. I mean, the players. I mean, you can argue that the Big Ten... I know I'm going to get some shit from a lot of people on that, but the Big Ten players, I think, can hold their own to the SEC guys. Not as far as... The SEC, it always seems bigger and faster, but the Big Ten, great linemen. I think SEC, let's be real, it's a little bit soft in quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Peyton Manning and Eli, I mean, maybe Matthew Stafford, how many guys come out the SEC that are great quarterbacks in the last 20 years?
I mean, they had Peyton Manning, but
that's what I'm saying. Peyton, Eli,
he's like
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, at least 2 of those, you know, guys have been good. You know. Yeah.
I mean, Breeze a Big Ten guy, Brady a Big Ten guy. You know, I mean, you can make your cases for that type of stuff. But same thing out west. I mean, you know, you're going to the Pacific. I mean, guys like Andrew Luck. I mean, let's be real. Quarterback play.
Pac-10, that's where a lot of these quarterbacks come
Jared
from.
Goff. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
Aaron Rodgers.
It's almost like,
fucking, you know?
Like you would have like a super team if you can get like the Pac-10 quarterback coaches, like those guys
the SEC
that can,
skill position players, right?
Yeah, with the SEC skill position players and defense.
Yeah. No, I mean, but let's be real. Other players come out of great conferences. The Saints have done well with Ohio State. Let's be real.
Even like schools like Texas Tech, got teams that are really spreading people out.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's
and they just had 4 guys that can play on Sundays.
But as a fan, it's funny
when figure out which one you're gonna guard.
But we get on draft day. It's the 5th or 6th round. You might not know so much about a certain player, but everybody wants to see an LSU guy. Or maybe a Tulane or Southern Miss or UL Lafayette. But what does it really matter?
If he ain't the right guy,
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can't connect.
You want to see this guy bust on Sundays, or you want to see somebody that the coaching staff believes in and can find the role for him to be effective.
Right.
Even though he might not be known. Who the fuck was Taysom Hill when he was drafted?
Exactly. Who the fuck?
I didn't know who the fuck
BYU. He was. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know who he was till the beginning of last season. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, here's my thing.
And he was an integral part to the team.
Absolutely. I keep drafting Ohio State guys. There's a lot of talk about Campbell. Could he fall to the Saints in the 2nd round, and would the Saints draft him?
I know. You hate receivers so much. So
no, I like receivers. I mean, I'm just saying I don't believe in throwing the ball 50 times a game and not having a run game.
And I don't believe in running the ball 50 times.
But look at the teams. But look what happened at Atlanta.
It's bullshit.
Atlanta, they ran Tevin Coleman on average 8 or 9 times a game. Freeman was a non-factor because he was hurt last year. They shit the bed. I mean, I'm saying they threw the ball 50 times a game.
No, they fucking shit the bed because everybody, their whole defense got hurt. At the same time of the year.
And it transitioned to they were playing from behind a lot. They could not run the football, maintain possession.
Yeah, they couldn't fucking stop nobody. So they had
they
had to play fucking that type of game.
But the running game and the defense go hand in hand. I mean, Philly couldn't run the ball.
And fucking Tevin Coleman, he's a good guy when he has lanes, but he doesn't have any wiggle to his game.
But Philly, the difference to me, Ajayi,
he's gonna get you.
He was a difference maker winning a Super Bowl.
What I like about Coleman, Coleman will blow a fucking 40-yard, 50-yard, 30-yard long run.
You can't get any, you gotta have.
But if on the other 6 carries, he's getting you -1 yard.
Yeah, but you gotta have
rhythm. Get tackled as soon as.
But go watch the plays. If Matt Ryan throws the ball 6 times in a row, they run him on fucking 2nd and 9. He runs for 2 yards, doesn't get another carry for a quarter. It's hard to build a rhythm.
Yeah,
I think Mark Ingram early in his career had trouble a little bit with that until he got a little more.
If he gets a carry and it's 2nd 11 and you're fucking down 14, you might want to pass on the next.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely, but it's not working. The problem is you're not able to establish the run.
It's not
when
you're
able to establish the run,
defense.
it helps your defense. But to me, look at New England.
They had getting shootouts.
But New
That's
England,
what happens.
Brady, this was the worst time Brady we've seen in a long time. And he was still a damn good quarterback, obviously an elite quarterback still, but he's not. To me, you can argue that Brady's not the best anymore. Obviously, what he did this year. But Sonny Michel, James White, running the football, allowed their defense to stay off the field as much, allowed them to control the clock. Clock management is huge, man. You can't trade scores. No, it's nothing. I mean, dude, you're looking at Kansas City. Look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees didn't smell 4,000 yards, I believe, this year. And the Saints were one fucking bad call away from winning the Super Bowl, in my opinion. You don't want to throw the ball 50 times a game. It's not sustainable. Even Mahomes, watch Mahomes. Kansas City could fall off next year. I like what they've done in the offseason so far, but I mean, they got Matthew. They did lose, the rusher forward, the pass rusher, but I mean, they should still be good enough in that division. But don't be surprised if they're not in the playoffs this year or next year.
The greatest Super Bowl in the history of the world. When the Patriots came back from fucking 28-3. Tom Brady threw his ball 60 times.
Well, obviously, when you're down 28-3, you can't hand the ball off.
Threw the ball 60 times.
Yeah, well, that's one Super Bowl. Go see how many guys won a fucking Super Bowl throwing the ball 60 times. I can tell you Breeze didn't. I mean, I can tell you fucking Manning didn't. I can tell you Aaron Rodgers didn't. I mean, it's not a recipe. So Russell Wilson, y'all's favorite, he might have threw the ball fucking 20 times the year they won the Super Bowl, if that. I'd say the over-under was 20 attempts in that fucking game when Marshawn Lynch and that defense led them to where you got to have defense. You got to be able to run the ball. It's great to have a great quarterback,
and you have to have a guy that can make throws.
But Drew Brees,
keep you engaged.
Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards and we missed the playoffs before. We were 7-9.
That's because you didn't have a defense.
Because we couldn't run the ball too. Absolutely, but the running game is part of it. If you're not running the football, you're doing a disservice. That's why I worry about Kansas City.
You have to be balanced, is what I'm trying to tell you.
You do have to be balanced.
That's exactly. But you're saying that you keep saying that Seattle had a good game plan when they weren't balanced. They were running the ball fucking 60-40.
You ever thought their receivers?
That's not good.
But let me ask you this: so the Saints had trouble passing on the Cowboys. Saints a considerably better passing team, in my opinion, than the Seahawks. More weapons, better.
The reason why they had a
problem
is because fucking the center fucking blew down and they started getting interior pressure.
Let's be real. Michael Thomas had a hard time
getting open. And they made fucking Drew a little scary.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
With the inside pressure.
Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith covered well out the backfield. They had a great game plan on Michael Thomas. Rod Marinelli knew what the hell he was doing. The problem is you can't say the Seahawks, they called the wrong plays. That's why they were lucky to be in the playoffs. Their defense wasn't great. The running game made them look a little bit better. It was putting lipstick on a fucking pig, if you ask me. Their defense has a lot of holes in it going forward, and it had a lot of holes last season. There was a lot of young, inexperienced guys. There's Frank Clark, there's Wright, there's 3 or 4 guys you could name, but let's be real. Earl Thomas wasn't a factor. Cam Chancellor wasn't a factor. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of holes in that defense.
And to me, it's all about.
No, but it wasn't. Russell Wilson throws the ball a ton the year before. They missed the playoffs. Last year, they get the 5th leading rusher in the league with Chris Carson with 1,200 yards. They make the playoffs. It's not rocket science, my man. If you run the ball effectively, you have good defense and good quarterback play. You got the balance. That's what I'm saying.
Good quarterback play.
Atlanta
good
didn't have
defense.
balance.
And that all sets up the
running game. But the running
game.
game helps a lot with the defense. Trust me. You can't go sit there and have 2-minute drives down the field. Those teams are never going to be – it's just so hard to do that. The Rams did it that year they won a Super Bowl, the greatest show on turf. But their defense suffered a little bit. You go downfield, have quick strikes all the time. I'm not saying, look, you score when you can score, but the problem – and they had a great running back with Marshall Faulk. But the problem is sometimes you got to milk that clock. You got to rest the guys on defense a little bit. I mean, it's
if you
simple
pass
as that.
the whole first half and you're up 35-0, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do at that point.
But it ain't about that. No, that doesn't happen in
Tom
too many
Brady's
games.
done it.
His whole
second half of his career that he's done that.
You can count on one hand how many times the team's
fucking
up
Tom
4
Brady has
possessions in the
done
first
that
half.
his whole career.
Come on, man.
You know, the fucking offensive coordinators need to put more trust into their fucking quarterbacks. Because those are the guys that are winning games, not fucking running backs.
Come on, your running backs are important. Your pass rushers are important.
Running backs are only as good as the guy
handling
handling the ball. And the offensive line and the offensive system.
I don't buy it, man. I'm saying this. Tom Brady wasn't good enough on his own to carry the team this year. Does he step up in big games? Absolutely. He's still a damn good quarterback, but he's not the best ever. He doesn't look like the best ever right now.
All right, let's welcome in Walter Oubre.
Walter.
Jesse Tello.
Jesse, the pain
Philip
guy,
Wilson.
Man. Philip, the Texan, man. What's up with those Texans, man? I don't know what the fuck they're doing this offseason, man. They've totally shit the bed. My boy Chris out of Gumbo Sports. Look, man, I think the Texans had a night. I love Deshaun Watson, man. I love DeAndre Hopkins, Watt. But what the heck were they thinking losing Honey Badger the way they did and not addressing that offensive line?
They lost the fucking
They got Deshaun Gibson over. I mean, you could have paid Honey Badger $3 or $4 million more a year.
Just imagine,
you make that move.
Just imagine how good that defense would be if they had Bouye and Honey Badger back there.
I might have to get up to Houston, man, see my boy Philip and some of my Houston folks out there. I know my cousin Billy's going to be out there, man. Cubs playing the Astros Memorial Day. 2 elite teams going at it, bro.
We got Joanna Michelle Flores.
That's another reason I'm going to go to Houston, man.
Aaron Richard.
Aaron's back, man. Dude.
Miami, just... let us know how that was off the air,
man. Adam Jesus. I'm thinking of Fantasy Jesus. Aaron, you got to let me know what happened off the air, man. With that Miami trip, man. Well, we went to Miami last year in April, dude. Fort Lauderdale, Miami. It was awesome, dude. I mean, I probably didn't do as much cool shit as you did, but it was fun, man. I went with the wife, so, it was a good time, man. But I probably didn't get as ill.
Dylan's getting a little controversial here.
Good.
I think as bad as that argument went, this might even go worse for Dylan.
What we got? I'm okay with Dylan.
Dylan said the Saints.
No offense.
The Saints need a rebuild. Period.
I don't know. You think so, man? Dylan, how much have you had to drink today? That's what I gotta ask, man. Nah, you my dude, Dylan. But you think they got to rebuild now? Now I would say this:
only got to rebuild is the offense once Breeze retires.
This team, to me, the Saints are arguably the deepest team in the NFL, and I swear I'll say it against anybody. And I'll challenge anybody to prove me wrong. If you go all around that roster. And you go talk about depth. Now, I agree. The receiving core outside of Thomas, you need Traquan and you need Kirkwood to grow a little bit. But, man, tight end, you got Cook. That offensive line is built so good for years to come. You just got, you lost Unger, who's a great player, but you got Younger with Easton. The defensive line, King George, Sheldon Rankins, Marcus Davenport. You got Davis, Anzalone at linebacker. The secondary, Lattimore and Apple could be the best tandem to me in football. Had that ability. Marcus Williams, Von Bell to me is one of the most underrated safeties in football. The word on this guy was he couldn't hit coming out of college.
Secondary.
The Ohio State secondary is beast mode. But no, Dylan, I don't think we need to rebuild, man. I think we gotta. I think the Saints are. Look, they're the highest. Some people are doing power rankings, which is crazy at this point, but they're number one on a lot of power rankings.
I think Dylan might be confusing. Drew Brees retiring.
I like
Drew
clap. I
Brees
hope he can step up
retiring
in year
with,
two.
the rest of the team, retiring
Look,
with him.
This team is built really well for the next guy, whoever he is. If it is Bridgewater, if it's somebody, don't count out a draft pick in the middle rounds that Peyton might like a McSorley or somebody like that, or the kid from Buffalo who's got a lot of prowess. Maybe what if a guy like Greer slips to third round? The Saints might get creative, I mean, I don't know about Daniel Jones. There's some questions about him, but we'll see what happens. But to me, the Saints, the next thing they have to look forward to is, to me, we talk about Ziggy Ansah, man. Ansah, the medical records are coming back soon. Ansah's a guy 2 years ago that had 12 sacks. We lost out on Robert Quinn, which I was a little bummed about. I was hoping to maybe make a run at him because I think Davenport could use, you don't want to put too much pressure on a second-year end that got banged up as a rookie a little bit. I love Davenport's game, but a veteran pass rusher at this point makes a lot of sense. Would it be Ansah? We talk about Derek Morgan's out there, Adrian Claiborne. There's some guys out there.
Dylan has made his
Shane
response.
Ray.
Breeze is getting old. We need another running back
Absolutely.
to pair with Kamara.
No, I agree.
We need another QB to take the reins. I think the offense needs to figure some things out.
No, I mean, look, the offense, I'll say this. Jared Cook, watch Jared Cook. He will work wonders. He's giving you something that you haven't had since Jimmy Graham. And we all talk about that. Remember, nobody talks about this. I've seen a lot of local guys. I've seen Abear. I've seen Eric Asher, Mackle, all these guys, Gus, talk about it. But let's be real. The problem was with this team, you thought you had that guy with Kobe Fleener. Fleener was a goddamn disaster. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But he was a failure to the highest degree. But
that was your boy, too.
Everybody liked Fleener because we thought he can open up the seam route the way Jimmy Graham did.
I told you about his alligator arms.
And it was that and a million other things. He was terrible. Absolutely. That did work. That didn't work at all. But Jared Cook is a guy that can go get the ball up high. He can create after the catches. Running after the catch is nice, something that Graham gave you. You don't see that. That's a rarity amongst tight ends.
He's
running
fast.
after the catch. He's fast. He can get up and get the football.
I'll
say this.
He's fast.
I mean, you can't do nothing about Breeze except keep Bridgewater around. Maybe look at a guy in the 4th or 5th round this year. Breeze is getting older, but he's still Drew Brees. To me, the receivers I think are going to work out. I think Kirkwood and Traquan Smith. I mean, Cam Meredith, I don't know what to believe. I'm not as big of a Meredith fan.
Cook is gonna open up
But he's
so
gonna
much
open
of
up
the
those
fields
guys.
for so many guys. With him just running up the middle of the
Yeah.
field as fast as he can,
Absolutely. He's still a
If he
Ted
can-
Ginn Jr.
As long
stretch
as
the
he can
field,
consistently get off of press, at the line.
Well,
then
he's going to be called. He's going to be on a fourth corner or a safety.
He's going to be pulling the fucking safety a lot.
Yeah, you can't put a nickel corner on, with this offense against Jared Cook. I mean, you're going to have Kamara coming out the backfield. Thomas, Ginn. You got to respect Ginn.
Yeah, have Cook run straight out and have Kamara leak out right behind
Absolutely. Cook. The Saints have always
Turn
predicated their
Cook
offense
into a
on
blocker
matchup
downfield
nightmares.
at that
Oh,
point.
yeah. The Saints' offense has been predicated upon matchup nightmares and substitution packages, and they're going to be a freaking nightmare for other defenses. I mean, you got Cook going against a linebacker or a strong safety in many cases. You know what I mean? Look, don't expect Jared Cook to put up Jimmy Graham numbers because I don't think that'll happen with this offense. But 65, 70 catches, 800 yards, that's kind of your expected to have.
Ted coming strong.
What you got, Ted?
Basically, the Saints are the best team in the NFL.
I think
as
he's
we
fucking right,
speak.
brother. I think you're
If
right.
they're
Ted,
adding a few more great
Ted, I'm
players.
gonna throw this beer
I
into
feel
something
like
right
we're
now.
going to be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Exclamation point to infinity.
Ted, I'm jacked, dude.
He said,
I'm
"Fuck
jacked,
all
bro.
of the other
Ted,
NFL teams.
I think I'm going
They
to try
can
to work
either do
out
it."
for the Saints now. I think I'm going to, I'm going to be backup quarterback, man. I'm ready, dude. You've inspired me with that one because I'll tell you, man.
How else are we going to go out without fucking Ted? Did you fucking pull that off the internet? Tell me the truth.
Ted, that was inspirational, man. I thought
You
I just
wrote that
watched-
shit?
Look, Ted's trying to get that award like Charles S. Dutton and Rudy right now.
Yeah, he's going from fucking Charles Manson to Charles S. Dutton. So congratulations. That's the best thing I can say about you, motherfucker.
Ted, this weekend, brother, we're going to be seeing y'all, man. Boudin, beer, and boobies. This weekend it's going to be going down. But yeah, man, look, Dylan, I think it's okay, man. It's going to be cool, man. Light one up, dude. Drink you a nice cold one, dude. A Beta or, from my second favorite city or arguably my favorite city, straight out of Chicago, 312 Urban
Chicago,
Reed.
he's
You know what I'm saying? It's like my second home, man. New Orleans, Chicago. 900 miles apart on I-55.
This is the time when the music comes in.
We got some music coming on? What we got, man? Tell me you saved the Ace of Base for now.
Ace of
But,
Base.
Yeah, we were jamming some fucking that this last weekend, man. That's why I gotta be careful with those baked goods. But
some shit may have happened. Some other substances might have been involved.
Yeah, but shit, man. Hey, look, the Saints, dude. Ziggy Ansah's still a possibility. Shane Ray's out there. Derek Morgan. You know, do you look at a guy like that? I think you have to bring in an extra guy at this point. I mean, if you were looking hard at Quinn, you didn't make the Quinn thing happen. Dallas acquired Quinn. Good move for them because with Irving departing, they needed another rusher outside of Lawrence. The Saints could definitely go in one of these directions. We talked about, those guys. I mean, Branch is another one from Miami that's out there. Mm-hmm. There's several players out there still in free agency.
Like what you need now, you don't need the fucking starter. You need a guy that can rotate in and give you some good snaps, some good series.
Like I always make a point to Rob Ninkovich with the Patriots for years, John Abraham with the Falcons, guys that would just pretty much pin your ears back and rush the passer. And they were so good because that's what third down, you send that guy out there, you put Cam Jordan at defensive tackle, which he seldom does. He definitely does that. You put him out there with Davenport.
Dylan wants to know if Jordan can get the fire of his rookie year back.
I love Cam Jordan, man. I think Cam Jordan to me is one of the top 3 ends in football, man.
There's not too many guys. Sack season.
He
hasn't got his hands on a lot of sacks in the last few years.
He's more of a 10 to 13 sack guy, but to me, I think he plays the run better than any defensive end in football. If you watch him beat his guy constantly, he sets up other guys too. I think Rankins, Onyemata, some of those other guys, Okafor, have benefited from Jordan beating his guy to help having to come. I mean, to me, Cam, I don't think there's too many guys better. You know what? I'm saying this to be honest. Maybe it's a little homerism, but I mean, he's been to multiple Pro Bowls. He's obviously elite in everybody's eyes, outside of New Orleans. But I mean, I don't take another defensive end in this league over Cam Jordan. I don't. Cam Jordan's my guy right now. If you give me a choice of any end in the league, I'm taking Cam Jordan hands down.
All right, that's how we gotta go on this bad boy.
Where we at? What's our time frame?
35.
35 minutes, man. Well, we're freezing up, y'all. We're about to. I'm not moving. Oh shit! What just happened there? What happened, dude? Wait, you put on the Wi-Fi. We gotta keep that Wi-Fi looking clean, bro.
Oh, we're back!
Back on
board. We're back! Now. Oh shit, y'all thought we was gone, but you got pulled back in.
The woman walked right by, man. It sucks for the Facebook crowd.
I'm pretty sure they were still seeing us. We just couldn't see anything on this screen.
Maybe so. Nah, so there actually wasn't a naked woman. We were just kidding. But anyway, man, April 2nd today, man, we're going to be getting down in Chalmette over the weekend. Is Leno's parade going down Saturday. We got Wrestle fucking Mania on Sunday. I am so ready after last night's Raw, man. The wrestling folks in the house. The women's match, man. WrestleMania will end with a women's match. 20 years ago, and I'm not saying this, dude, I think it's great. I love this. But 20 years ago, you never would have had one wrestling fan believe that the women's title match will close with WrestleMania. And that goes to show you as a society where we've come from and the quality of wrestling. I mean, these girls, dude, I'm as much jacked about that as any match for WrestleMania. I'm not a massive wrestling fan like I used to be, but I know my shit with wrestling. I've watched it for a long time. And, dude, I'm ready, man. That's going to be crazy, dude. Becky, Charlotte, Ronda Rousey going down, bro. Sunday, man. Cookout. Saturday and Sunday, man, it's going to get real, dude. There's going to be some consumption of some things, man.
Some consumption.
The consumption will be on. Maybe that's a good podcast. I know we keep hearing about your next endeavor, French Quarter Fantasy, man. We did one show. We're going to be doing another one really soon. I know there's going to be a segment on there, I believe, called The Wrong Hole. So I'm not quite sure what that's about yet. But,
shit.
That's going to be involved from what I'm hearing, man. A lot of people are excited about The Wrong Hole, The Wrong Hole seems to be, taking a lot of time to develop here. I mean, I'm hearing about it all over the place. I think Pancho especially that's his facet right there. That's what he's focusing on. That's his baby. He's working on The Wrong Hole as we speak. So we're gonna see.
Oh shit, we gonna go out on that one. As we speak, motherfucker, wrong holding it. Not Carl holding it, he wrong.
All right, Facebookers, man. Next time, later this week, we're doing it damn thing again, man. A little fantasy talk at that point. A little more Saints,
Saints.
Less sinning.
Los Santos.
All right, I'm still on Facebook now, man. You have not closed out the Facebook, brother.
All right,
you need to stop doing as much reefer. There you go.
You see, I hit the red button. It's not rocket science.
Well, dude, I said that's your thing, man. That's your thing.
Man,
Like, if I seen it, I fucking
the
did it.
fucking Twitter went off again. God damn it.
Man, we're gonna start recording straight from Twitter. Like, that's just the only other way about it, homie. See y'all, motherfuckers.